আসলে ম্যাচটা হেরেছে। সো কুইন্টন ডিকককে আউট করতে পারলে বলা যায় যে অনেক একটা কাজ আসলে হয়ে গেল। সো কুইন্টন ডিককের উইকেট ওয়াজ ভেরি ভাইটাল, ভেরি ক্রুশাল, এবং সেই উইকেটটা বাংলাদেশ প্ল্যান করে তুলে নিয়েছে, এবং যার কারণে কিন্তু দেখা গেছে যে
উইকেট। আরেকটা ছোট্ট ব্রেক নিচ্ছি, ব্রেকের পর ফিরছি আবারও আলোচনায়, সাথেই থাকুন। ফাস্টেস্ট মানে বাংলা লিংক। উকলা স্পিড টেস্টে পরপর 4 বার আমরাই দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। থাকুন বাংলা লিংক ফাস্টেস্ট 4G তে।
সম্পূর্ণ মেটাল বডি ও ফিনিশড উডেন লুকের মতো টেক্সচার এবং 8 পয়েন্ট সুপার লকে তৈরি সময়ের অন্যতম সিকিউরড মেটাল ডোর ব্রাভো মেটাল ডোর, ভিআইপি সিকিউরিটি।
এম ফর
কি স্যার, এম বলতে না বলতেই এমবি শেষ?
না আপু, এমবি আছে কিন্তু মেয়াদ শেষ।
মেয়াদ থাকতে পরবর্তী প্যাক কিনলেই হয়, তাহলে বাদ যাবে না কোনো এমবি। বাংলা লিংকের ফাস্টেস্ট নেটওয়ার্কে উপভোগ করুন যে কোনো মেয়াদের পরবর্তী প্যাকে অব্যবহৃত ইন্টারনেট যোগ করার সুবিধা।
দেয়ালটা পাকা করব, তাই বিকাশ অ্যাপ দিয়ে আইডিএলসিতে টাকা জমাইতেছি নিরাপদে।
ফাস্টেস্ট মানে বাংলা লিংক। উকলা স্পিড টেস্টে পরপর 4 বার মেয়াদ থাকতে পরবর্তী প্যাক কিনলেই হয়, তাহলে বাদ যাবে না কোনো এমবি। বাংলা লিংকের ফাস্টেস্ট নেটওয়ার্কে উপভোগ করুন যে কোনো মেয়াদের পরবর্তী প্যাকে অব্যবহৃত ইন্টারনেট যোগ করার সুবিধা।
যেহেতু টপারের ব্যাটিং করে, আমাদের বোলারদের আনসেটেল করে দেওয়ার মতো অ্যাবিলিটি ডিককের আছে, যেটা হয় ও যদি ইনিশিয়ালি কাউন্টার অ্যাটাক করে সবসময় অ্যাটাক করে, বোলারদের সবাইকে আনসেটেল করে দেয়, পরবর্তী ভালো পারফর্ম করেছে। যখন যাকে এনেছে ক্যাপ্টেন সবাই কিন্তু পারফর্ম করেছে। সাকিবের কাজ করেছে, মিরাজ করেছে, ইম্পর্টেন্ট উইকেট নিয়েছে, শরীফুল এসে উইকেট পেয়েছে, হয়তো মুস্তাফিজ উইকেট পায় না এই সিরিজে, কিন্তু
বোলিং লাইনআপ
সবাইকে আমরা খুব ভালো দেখেছি, এক্সেপশনাল সাকিবকে দেখেছি আমরা। ওয়েল, একটু যদি বাংলাদেশের ব্যাটিং নিয়ে কথা বলি, বাংলাদেশের প্রথম 15 ওভার আসলে ব্যাটিং প্ল্যানটা কিরকম হওয়া উচিত, তামিম এবং লিটনের কিরকম প্ল্যান করা উচিত? দ্বিতীয় ম্যাচে কুইন্টন ডিকক যেরকম কম রানের টার্গেটে খুব অ্যাটাকিং খেলেছেন সেরকম খেলা উচিত, নাকি একটু ধরে রেখে?
আমার মনে হয় যে জিনিসটা হলো উইকেটটা খুব বেশি যে সুইটেবল ছিল খেলা উচিত,
Normal
মানে
cricket খেলা
একটা,
উচিত, yes.
এবং খুব বেশি বকডাউন হওয়া যাবে না যে আমি ডট খেলার মানে যেহেতু রান
Right,
নাই,
right.
বেশি প্রেসার, মানে অপোনেন্টকে টপে যাওয়ার সুযোগটাও দেওয়া যাবে না।
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ফাহিম। এক লাইনে যদি কিছু অ্যাড করতে চান, বিকজ
মানে খুব ধীরে স্থির ক্রিকেট খেলে বাংলাদেশ অনায়াসে এই ম্যাচ
ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ both of you. Now let's enjoy the match.
Litton Kumar Das. The both have looked in good touch, especially in that very first match in the same venue. They'll be hoping to repeat. What they did in that first one-day international.
So trying to protect 154, trying to achieve the history that is 154.
চলে এসেছে কনফিডেন্স পিরিয়ডের মতো সহজ সত্যটাকে সহজ করে দেখার কিংবা দেখানোর কনফিডেন্স। হ্যালো এভরিওয়ান, ফাস্টেস্ট অ্যাবজর্পশন আর ওয়েট টেকনোলজি নিয়ে এলো নতুন সেনোরা কনফিডেন্স। পিরিয়ড হ্যান্ডেল করার জন্য 12 ঘন্টার নন স্টপ প্রোটেকশন। দুনিয়াটা তোমার প্লেগ্রাউন্ড, প্লে উইথ কনফিডেন্স। ফাস্টেস্ট মানে বাংলা লিংক। উকলা স্পিড টেস্টে পরপর 4 বার আমরাই দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। থাকুন বাংলা লিংক ফাস্টেস্ট 4G তে।
দেয়ালটা পাকা করবো, তাই বিকাশ অ্যাপ দিয়ে আইডিএলসি তে টাকা জমাইতেছি নিরাপদে।
Especially early on when the new ball is being operated. And really will be hoping that he can create more chances. They created a chance in the very first over.
Here he goes to Lytton Das.
There will be pressure. There will be pressure on both the batters in the middle, knowing that it's not a very big total to chase. But if you lose early,
Oh, fortunate runs. A flashing blade, an inside edge, and perilously close to those stumps, but away for 4. Calm, more confident of their ability to chase down history. Good stroke for nothing. The end of the over. 5 from it. 8 for none from 2.
লাইফ বয় লিকুইড হ্যান্ড ওয়াশের সাথে পাও জীবাণু থেকে 10 গুণ বেশি সুরক্ষা। তাই এখন পাম্প, রাব, ছু করো 10 গুণ বেশি জীবাণু। লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ 100 মিলি প্যাক এখন সাবানের দামে।
বিকাশে ভিসা ডেবিট কার্ড সেভ করে অ্যাড মানি করলেই
100 টাকা বোনাস। শকত ভাই তোমার মামা
open venue. And, not quite there, but a good crowd in. Beauty, Rabani. You won't get better than that. The only thing it failed to do was found. Get an extra slip in. There's just a comparison of lengths. That was his opening spell in the second ODI where he bowled so well.
বিকাশ অ্যাপ দিয়া আইডিএলসি তে টাকা জমাইতাছি নিরাপদে।
Their attack, given that Rabada and Gidi, Norkia, all unavailable, the front line at Janssen all gone to IPL, and you've got a very lightly raced and hardly tried attack to take the new ball. Too short, too wide, and 4. Good batting. Now Bangladesh on brink of a one-day series history-making win. They'll look at it and certainly more likely to find the edge of a bat and get to second slip than it is to get caught at cover in this situation.
Well, if you don't pick up wickets, then you got to start producing dot delivery. At the moment, pretty defensive.
It does have that ring to it. It's just like we've just got to try and string a few dots together. It's wickets that's required by South Africa. He's bowling at 140 plus. He's built up a head of steam. He's got a few past the outside edge. Yet he's been hit for 4 by Litton Das and now by Tamim Iqbal. Confidently played away for nothing. The footwork's good between both these two. And just the way they're compiling the partnership. Yes, they've had a couple of early scares. There was the chance that got put down. But with every solid defensive stroke, every run that's picked up, that dressing room, that Bangladeshi dressing room will just believe.
পার্লারে গিয়েছিলি না তো তাহলে এত গ্লো কিভাবে গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি থেকে শুধু গ্লো এন্ড লাভলি এটা কমায় ডার্ক স্পটস ডার্ক সার্কেলস আর রোদের মলিনতা গ্লো এর জন্য সবকিছু এক ক্রিমে গ্লো এন্ড লাভলির মাল্টিভিটামিন ত্বকের গভীরে প্রবেশ করে ডার্ক স্পটস ডার্ক সার্কেলস ও রোদের মলিনতা কমিয়ে দেয় এইচডি গ্লো গ্লো এর জন্য সবকিছু এক ক্রিমে
বিকাশে ভিসা ডেবিট কার্ড সেভ করে অ্যাড মানি করলেই
100 টাকা বোনাস। 4G হ্যান্ডসেট নিয়ে দেশের সব
because of the success of Tuskin, he may be switching ends. We'll have to wait and see that. Pushed away down the ground for one.
गाइस अगर आप ही साउथ अफ्रीका वर्सेस बिल्कुल आपने सही बात कह रहे, बांग्लादेश जीत सका। मुझे तो लगता है यार 8 विकेट से जीतेगी बांग्लादेश।
All the way to the fence. Really good over that one for Bangladesh. 8 from it, 36 without loss.
Yeah, you say intent.
সাধারণ ডিস্টেম্পার বা সিমেন্ট পেইন্ট আর নয়, বাড়ির ভেতরে ও বাইরের দেয়ালের সৌন্দর্য ও সুরক্ষায় ব্যবহার করুন স্মার্ট ও সাশ্রয়ী রং বার্জার রেডিয়েন্স।
বার্জার রেডিয়েন্স, বাইরে চকচকে,
ভেতরে ঝকঝকে।
খেলাটা কি?
দেশের 1 নম্বর গ্লুকোজ ব্র্যান্ড ল্যাক্টোজ ডি এখন গ্লুকোম্যাক্স ডি।
Overs, they're going to have our runs.
Those scores defended on this ground. I would have played in that Africa 11 one. I can't quite remember it really. 2005. So this would be a record. 199 is the lowest defended so far. Not so distant past. I remember South Africa being bowled out cheaply against India on this same Supersport Park. Remember it more for the fact that India came out to bat and basically had it all done, and there was a bit of an extension, and then with 5 runs to go for them to win the match, we had a 40-minute lunch break. It was just bizarre. Keith Lane says they're bowled out for 118, and that's beautifully played. That's a full awareness of exactly where the field is, the fact that Maharaj is going to be spinning the ball into him, and if it's on a certain line and he plants that front foot right across, he can up and over it behind square and does it with real finesse.
Still in the power play, only 2 men out. He's got a square leg, 2 behind, square there, and that's Tamim's shot. He knows the attacking line of Keshav Maharaj is turning it into him. He's going to be around that 4th, 5th stump. Walks in at square there, walks inside it slightly and just helps it over Dwayne Pretorius. Keshav Maharaj is turning it into him. He's going to be around that 4th, 5th stump. Walks in at square there, walks inside it slightly and just helps it over Dwayne Pretorius. Keshav Maharaj is turning it into him. He's going to be around that 4th, 5th stump.
Decided to move that man who was at mid wickets, basically dead square.
Helps it over Dwayne Pretorius.
His protection. Either way, change. Mid wickets. Fine paddle, trying to beat the man at short. 45. Doesn't do so. Mid wickets. Fine paddle, trying to beat the man at short. Just had a word with 45. And just asked him, was that off the glove? And he tended to suggest it was. So does it go down as a missed chance? I pretty much doubt it. I think it hit Quintus de Kock high up, well above the gloves on his arms. Suggested was. So does it go down as a missed chance? I pretty much doubt it. I think it hit Quintus de Kock high up, well above the gloves on his arms. Suggested was. So does it go down as a missed chance? I pretty much doubt it. I think it hit Quintus de Kock high up, well above the gloves on his arms. It does. Maharaj had his number in the first one-day international. He gave himself room in a similar manner, and the ball stayed down, probably a bit straighter than that last one. He clattered into the off stump. He gave himself room in a similar watchful. This is also a service that at occasion does tend to keep a little bit low. He gave himself room in a similar watchful. This is also a service that at occasion does tend to keep a little bit low. Gets away with that. Last delivery of the over, 6 runs from it, 42 without loss. Gets away with that. Delivery of the over, 6 runs from it.
মহারাজ নতুন রেড পিন কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড পিন কুলিং অয়েল ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড রেটিং কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেটিং কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ
You always get the feeling though, yeah, at Supersport Park, that's, we were discussing it off air in the green room, saying it always feels like a bowl first surface, because if it's a belter, it stays a belter for the rest of the day. It always feels like a bit of a dodgy wicket, then if it's a belter, in many ways stays a belter for the rest of the day. It always feels like a better off batting second, because as a team batting first, you're not sure what you should post or how hard you should go.
When Quinton Cocker has an insanity, half-felt, quick outfield. When this is a belter, it's really, really hard to defend.
Beautifully played. Really good. Just on the angle. He's always looking for the width this time, Iqbal, and this time it's almost like a 45-degree angled bat. The timing and the placement superb.
Not sure if it's 155 he's chasing, but he looks like in a good frame of mind. He looks like he's looking to jump on, invent something. Sometimes he's got the ability just to bat instead of looking for something here. It's slightly offline. He jumps and plays a fantastic shot.
4 deliveries to go in the power play. Then South Africa can spread the field. Interesting to see how quickly they get Shamsi in the mix. He was pretty good. His variations worked a trick at the Wanderers. And the bowling lineup that they've got today, Pretorius is the other fast bowling option. And you would think that he'd be more in a holding role then. You're trying to be too effective from an attacking perspective. So the next attacking option would be Shamsi. And that's brilliantly played as well. That's short off the hip and just lifts up that hip, whips it away and brings up the 50 for Bangladesh.
That's the 50 and a 50 partnership, and what a way to bring it up. Rabada trying to hit it hard into the surface. It's a memory bowl, just rocking back, lifting it over backward mid-wicket, or one bounce 4. This is the shot we're talking about. Sometimes what happens with Tamim, he's such a talented player, almost puts too much value in his wicket instead of just value more in his actual ability. Like there, normally he'd go underneath that. There, he's just picked it up, helped it on its way. Looks in good touch.
He's hammered this in full control in front of square. It was a plan by South Africa. 2 men back on the leg side. I wanted to target him like we would probably do in a test match. Almost like it was a bit too predictable because he was onto it in an absolute flash.
Rabada going with the double up. So attractive shot. Not on the money. Gave him a little bit of width just to free those arms up.
Picked away again. Shamsi going to try and cut it off, but can't. 3 boundaries in a short space of time. Bangladesh captain Tamim Iqbal is cutting loose. 58 without loss.
তো স্পিনে পানিকে টেস্টি বানা
আম ও কমলার স্বাদে ভরা রিফ্রেশিং টেস্টে এসপি পাউডার ড্রিঙ্ক। পানিকে বানাও টেস্টি পানি, এসপি পানি। কাটলাম, ঢাললাম, পড়ে গেল। হরলিক্স 500 গ্রাম সাশ্রয়ী প্যাক, মাত্র 295 টাকা।
Not lost a wicket.
পিওরিট, বাংলাদেশ সরকারের প্রতিষ্ঠান দ্বারা যাচাইকৃত একমাত্র ওয়াটার পিউরিফায়ার।
মহারাজ নতুন মহারাজ নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং।
In that initial power play. Very sweet. Lays it nicely, but picks out Verena behind square. Just his demeanour now. You never see Tamim playing that sort of shot there. It's more of a sort of, if he gets runs, Bangladesh in a good spot, where this one just looks like he's, yes, they're only chasing 155, but he's there to play. You know, he wants to show his ability, showcase his talent, and as captain, leading from the front. He goes to 41 or 37.
Are you looking more for natural instinct or a little bit more of a positive mindset?
I think we all play our different way. He's got his get-in moments, but he's a ball striker. If you watch how he hits the ball, he's a phenomenal ball striker, and sometimes I think the occasion gets to him as he just doesn't trust that game plan as much as he should. Because if anyone's seen, I mean, I watched him get 130 in a T20 game, and the shots he was playing there, phenomenal. You just want to, at times, because he's been one of the main batters in the Bangladesh side, he puts the onus on him just to bat. And I think you get into that rut where it's about me just batting, and then Bangladesh is in a good side, where now there's other guys coming through. There's trust. I can play my natural game. I can have a bit of fun. I can take on the attack. And that's what he's doing. Bangladesh, 60 without loss.
ভাবছেন এসি চালালেই বাড়বে বিদ্যুৎ বিল? আরে যদি থাকে গ্রি, নো চিন্তা, ডু চিল। গ্রি এসির ইনভার্টার টেকনোলজি বাঁচায় বিদ্যুৎ খরচ আর পরিবেশ বান্ধব গ্যাস বাঁচায় পরিবেশ। গ্রি এসি একটু বেশিই ঠান্ডা।
Where they lost 5 wickets for about 35 runs. It really turned the game on its head. And bowled out after just 37 overs. 37 overs, just 154. And now Bangladesh looking strong. 10 wickets in hand. 11 overs done, 60 without loss. And it's not even a 3-figure score that's required. It's 95 to win the match and create history by winning their first series in South Africa. And we have a change of bowler. Shamsi in the mix. He's the magician man. He likes his magic tricks. He's going to have a triple show here if he's to pull South Africa out. It makes sense though to get him in. I think he is a wicket-taking option. He's an aggressive attacking bowler and bowled nicely at the Wanderers. And they need to strike. So the seamers have been given their opportunity. When I say the seamers, Rabada and Ngidi. And now they're throwing the next card in the trick to see if they can do some damage. Premeditated paddle that didn't quite work out. Either way, there's once again no fielder behind square. So if he gets up and under it, if it's full enough in length, he can help it over Kekisa Rabada. It's an easy boundary to the relatively shorter boundary here at Supersport Park this evening. All of two. David Miller's normally quite quick, turns blind, does, but I think he was predetermined that he was coming back for two, so it was just the quickest method. And in the end, the throw doesn't even go to his end. David Miller covering a lot of ground out there, throwing to the furthest end of the ground, but also to the slower runner between the wickets end, and a direct hit. Talk about what could be a possible historic victory here for Bangladesh, and they've obviously beaten teams like Afghanistan and Zimbabwe on a couple occasions. Big victories have been against the West Indies. They won that series 3-0. They won 2-1 against Sri Lanka. This would be a real feather in their caps. I think conditions in Sri Lanka and the West Indies probably more similar to what you'd experience in Bangladesh than the foreign nature of South African conditions, which would be pace and bounce. So this would be new charted territory for Bangladesh. And the way they've played so far as a team, and the first one and in this one so far, they thoroughly deserve to be in this position. I was fortunate enough to be in that Caribbean one. That was one of our first sort of tours we went on there, and it is more the spin option. What I've been really pleased about in terms of a Bangladesh perspective, they've got into this sort of tournament with their three quicks and a lot more batting. We know Shakib lit it on fire the first ODI. He had a great tour in the Caribbean, but a lot more contributors in that Bangladesh lineup now, a lot more match winners. So you haven't got the reliance on just one or two guys, individuals, you know. And I think that you can see the way Tamim's playing as well. There's that faith, there's that belief in, yes, you don't want to shirk your responsibility, but there's belief that, you know, I'll do my role, everyone else has got a role to fill, and they can do it. Yeah, South Africa are at full strength as well, and it won't be for the Test series, but for these 3 one-days, this is as good as it gets. Comfortably 6 runs from 12 overs, 66 without loss.
পিওরিট বাংলাদেশ সরকারের প্রতিষ্ঠান দ্বারা যাচাইকৃত একমাত্র ওয়াটার পিউরিফায়ার।
মহারাজ, নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল।
Against Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka 3-match series, big win for them. There is that West Indian victory that we talked about. Commentary booth, it's the best format of the game at the moment. Test cricket and T20 cricket haven't been playing as well as they possibly can, but in this format, they've been on fire. I think they had the list of qualification for the next World Cup, the RCC log. It's all too easy. You almost feel from a South African perspective they have to try and stem the flow a little bit, ask them to take a few more risks, play the big shots to try and bring about some wickets, because they play out the 50 overs. It's not going to be a case in point. They're going to have to get wickets, South Africa. I've got a feeling Lytton Duss is going to try and get on the action here. He's been a little bit quiet. 19, you don't normally see the captain on 46 and Lytton Duss on 19. So how does he get in on the action? He's saying airborne. He'll be looking over cover. He might try a little slog sweep, which I think would be a good risk for the South African side. Yeah, getting a bit edgy, bit of a Fred stare in the crease before playing that delivery. Definitely when you've been watching guys and and played with guys and worked with guys, you get their patterns, you get their sort of their mental approaches. And, you just want, as a coach, you just want him to just keep going. It's about the partnership. It's not about the individual there. So he's got 20. The captain's got 46. That's 68. You don't care. You get there. Whether you get a nice little paddle there, straight to Shams to get across for one. And I think that's the importance. It's about that partnership. We know it's a team game, but it's a lot of individual stuff in cricket where you want to highlight those partnerships. Like today is your day, Tamim. I'll jump on the bad ball, but I'm not going to try and outbat you, outscore you. And just keep seeing that partnership climbing.
Another single that takes the score to 70. They batted well as a partnership as well. You talk about partnerships. Mac in their first match, they had to absorb a lot of pressure. 33 without loss after the first 10 in that power play, and they went on to establish 95 together. Today 70 not out, 71 not out after 13 overs, so doing the job again at the top.
বডির জন্য জিম আর ফেসের জন্য গ্লো এন্ড হ্যান্ডসাম।
নাটকবাজি নাকি জেনুইন উই ডোন্ট জাজ। এক ট্যাপে খাবার পিক আপ করুন 15 মিনিটে ফুড প্যান্ডা।
He's heading towards a 3-figure score. Decides against them, actually. I think they could have easily been through for a single. Maybe Tommy Iqbal wasn't quite aware exactly where the ball had gone because of it making contact with the pad.
Looks like he's fiddling around a little bit, aware of that 48, just knocked 2 singles.
Yeah, probably been a little bit watchful as well of Shamsi, and that's what Shamsi brings to the South African attack. He's got a little bit of mystery. It's not just a case in point of what each delivery is going to do. You have to see if the variations are being used. It's been a good 5 deliveries so far. His deliveries in and around 83 kilometers per hour.
Five dots, there's a 1 coming to retain the strike, Bolly.
Yeah, he's got it. So he'll stay on strike on 49. End of the 14th, 72 without loss.
সাধারণ ডিস্টেম্পার বা সিমেন্ট পেইন্ট আর নয়, বাড়ির ভেতরে ও বাইরের দেয়ালের সৌন্দর্য ও সুরক্ষায় ব্যবহার করুন স্মার্ট ও সাশ্রয়ী রং বার্জার রেডিয়েন্স।
বার্জার রেডিয়েন্স, বাইরে চকচকে,
ভেতরে ঝকঝকে।
খেলাটা কি?
দেশের 1 নম্বর গ্লুকোজ ব্র্যান্ড ফ্ল্যাক্সোজ ডি এখন গ্লুকোভ্যাক্স টি।
So 83 required for Bangladesh to win this 3rd one-day international. Change of bowling for South Africa. Torres will be brought into the change of commentary. Tommy Mbango and Ashwell Prince.
Thank you, Sean. Just the way Bangladesh would like it to go. None down here and going at a rate of knots, really, in a game where it's been wickets galore. and they are unscathed. Lovely. Lovely work. Lovely work all round. And a day that's going according to plan for skipper Tamim Iqbal. A 52nd career half-century, a third against South Africa. And here in a quest for the promised land.
Yeah, well played 50. Tamim Iqbal in the fairly subdued celebration, knowing that the job is not quite done yet, but he's given his team a great opportunity right here.
It's in the gap. Aerial for some time, but it'll go for 4. And the 4-man is Liton Das, has been in fine form for some time for Bangladesh and is in a partnership here that's fabulous for them as a side.
Yeah, he has been in fine form, Pommy. That one not quite off the middle of the bat, slight thick outside edge, but Centurion Supersport Park, one of the best places in the world to bat, isn't it? You just thick outside edge, get it in the gap, you get some value for your strokes, don't you?
A ground you'll describe as one where it's difficult to chase. And yet at the start of proceedings today, both captains would have liked to bat. Before. Difficult to set, I should say, and not difficult to chase, difficult to defend. Yet both captains, they said at the toss to Sean Pollock, yeah, wanted to bat as well. Wanted to set a score, perhaps an issue about the occasion, thinking runs on the board, but you never know how many are enough here.
Yeah, absolutely, as we have another look of a Liton Das square drive. This one, much better timing off the full face of the bat. Yeah, for me, coming back to your point, I was massively surprised coming from the coast where I've played most of my cricket. You always felt that coming to the north, and in particular Supersport Park, you want to chase runs. Quite often with Supersport Park, you look down at the surface when it's a day-night game, and it can look an absolute belter. It's white, it looks good, looks like it's going to come on, looks like it's going to have pace in it, but often here, it doesn't have that.
'81 without loss.
So, at times you feel like you want to have a look.
কিন্তু প্যানেলের গ্যারান্টি
শুধুমাত্র কঙ্কা এলইডি টিভি দিচ্ছে প্যানেলের 4 বছরের গ্যারান্টি।
বুঝতেই পারছেন কি হবে স্মার্ট ডিসিশন।
কঙ্কা সাধ্যের মধ্যে সবটুকু।
ব্রুকবন্ড তাজা সতেজ গ্রানার করা লিগার আপনাকে তাজা করবে।
Yeah, with the way it's unfolded, 50 not out from 52 balls, Liton Das 29 from 38, also doing a top job. Really was about how they started Bangladesh in this chase. And yeah, you might say a tricky one, but on here particularly. Shot, 4 runs. They continue to pick them off. Closer and closer they go.
He's been in full flow as Tamim Iqbal in the last half an hour, 45 minutes. His shot selection has been impeccable and his timing has been even better.
It's in the air for some time. and Miller will haul it in. He's very quick across the ground. Really good use of the wrists there to open the blade and get into the gap. A drop kick of sorts.
Yeah, he seems as if he's full of confidence at the moment. He's picking the deliveries from Shamsi, knowing exactly which way it's going to spin.
And is in the mood. Rabada will haul that in. Yeah, and Ash, in continuing with the toss and whether to bat first here and whether to bat second, the captains have been confused in one-day internationals and kind of never really know which way to go. In day-night games, captains winning the toss have batted first 14 times and won 4 out of those 14, and have batted second, having won the toss 13 times and won 3 out of those 13. So in essence what it means is you're better off not winning the toss.
Yeah, you probably spot on there. And I think, having listened to those stats there, that's exactly what I mean with this ground. Sometimes when you get here, you look from the top, from the dressing room, you look down, you just arrive at the ground, it looks an absolute beauty. You get down there, it looks a beauty, still even better. But you're just not sure what it's going to do.
Yeah, and the issue therefore is the inability to read it right. 90 without loss. Yeah, just 65 more Bangladesh need. In the gap. Struck well enough to race away for 4. Tamim's decided he's not going to hang about. He's going to take this on.
Yeah, and it's all going for Bangladesh at the moment. In the last over 2, Tamim Iqbal been wanting to put the foot down. This time again having a go at Dwayne Pretorius, not quite getting enough the middle of the bat, catching height, but he finds the gap. It's all Bangladesh.
Got to say that in the couple of games where Bangladesh have been on top, have totally outplayed South Africa, and here there's nothing to suggest at this point that anything is going to turn around. In fact, you're just wondering how quickly they'll get the 61 runs that remain, and they could race off to them, certainly if Tamim remains in, because he's playing shots like this. Just wonderful. A crack off the bat as it races off for another boundary.
This is an absolute beauty from Tamim Iqbal. The previous boundary through mid-wicket, a bit of an inside edge trying to force the pace. This time he doesn't try to force the pace, he just times it full face straight down the ground. Beats captain Bavuma. And also the 98 now for Bangladesh brings up the highest partnership, opening partnership for Bangladesh against South Africa.
Yeah, quite different to the way that they did it in game 1. It was 95 they put on then, and very much their method to look to try and ensure that they don't lose wickets up front, don't play too many shots. The two of them quite adept at playing shots, like to get on with it, but took on the responsibility in game 1 to try and see off the new ball and then set some sort of platform. Here, with 154 on the board, as they stay together, you just felt that the longer they did, well, the more they would play shots. And whilst Litton Dus hasn't really, he's just sort of nudged it away and got a few through the gap, remained very controlled. It's Tamim Iqbal who's taken it on here and there. Into the 17th, it's 99 without loss.
নতুন যুগের দূষণ ফোটালেও যায় না, তাই পিওরিট।
মহারাজ, নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল।
All around the ground, and it just gets better and better. Bit of Brian Lara in that one around the corner. On this occasion, thumping it in front of mid-wicket. Captain Tamim Iqbal leading from the front.
Didn't quite get all of it. It'll still go to the fence. Miller coming in for the catch, doesn't carry to him, and he can't stop it either. The hundreds come up. Oh, he's a happy tiger today. Absolutely everything going their way. Just picks which one he wants.
Yeah, he's indicating at his partner Litton Das as well how it's come out of the hand.
One of those days. South Africa. Rabada gets there.
Just coming back to your point, for me, about as we have another look at the boundary delivery a couple of balls ago from Tamim. Again, bat turning a little bit in the hand, not quite the timing. Muller makes good ground, but unfortunately punches it over the boundary. Just coming back to your point about the dominant performance in the first game and again in this match, but then South Africa, that one in the middle, also dominating. So it's been a strange old contest between these two.
I guess if you're Bangladesh, you kind of look to the Wanderers pitch and there's a bit of bounce in that. You say didn't expect that, couldn't adjust to the conditions. But if you're South Africa, as the other side who's on the wrong end of results here, they've just been below par. I believe they certainly lacked an intensity in game number one. And then in this one, after a good start, just lost their way totally and couldn't stop the rod. It's 107 without loss.
তুই স্পিনে পানিকে টেস্টি বানা।
আম ও কমলার স্বাদে ভরা রিফ্রেশিং টেস্টে ইসপি পাউডার ঢেলে পানিকে বানাও টেস্টি পানি, ইসপি পানি। কাটলাম, ঢাললাম, পড়ে গেল। হরলিক্স 500 গ্রাম সাশ্রয়ী প্যাক, মাত্র 295 টাকা।
নতুন যুগের দূষণ ফোটালেও যায় না, তাই পিওরিট।
মহারাজ, নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল।
Welcome back to Supersport Park with Tamim Iqbal and Liton Das are building on the work that's been done by the bowlers. First up, they bowled South Africa out for 154, and these two together have gone better than they did in game one. Put on 95 then, are 107 and unbeaten to this point, and well on their way to what would be and will be an emphatic and historic victory here, because it'll also be series clinching. All round the park. In the gap, touch, fine touch, and placement too from Liton Das for 4.
Absolute touch of class from Liton Das. Keshav Maharaj can only admire. Look how deep he gets in the crease. Great skill and touch.
Side search and search and search for ways to win in particularly foreign conditions when they have to go on tours overseas. Oh, shot. Oh, yes. That is a beauty from Liton Das. One offside, now onside. Both about the use of the feet.
Absolutely, and when you're a young player and people talk about using your feet, so have a look at this. Just a little press forward and steps back, creates room. Again this time, late cut. Ngidi with a little fumble, and he gets another 2. I think it's a great point you're making, Pommy. As young players, often when you talk about use of the feet, people think about coming down the wicket. Here's another look at Liton Das, how he gets back into the crease, creates more room for himself. The first one be able to cut it back with a point, and then this one pulling it through mid-wicket.
Dot to finish, 10 off. It's 117 without loss.
কিন্তু প্যানেলের গ্যারান্টি
শুধুমাত্র কঙ্কা এলইডি টিভি দিচ্ছে প্যানেলের 4 বছরের গ্যারান্টি।
বুঝতেই পারছেন কি হবে স্মার্ট ডিসিশন।
কঙ্কা, সাধ্যের মধ্যে সবটুকু কঙ্কা।
ব্রুকবন্ড তাজা সতেজ ঘ্রাণার করার লিগার আপনাকে তাজা করবে।
Doing something right. You're also giving your side the best chance, unlocking the rest of it. Your openers get runs and get them consistently, and everything generally falls into place, and everybody is performing the role that's initially assigned to them.
And especially I feel with Bangladesh, from I feel, having been in the dressing room, it's a very emotional dressing room. And shot again from Tamim, inside out. Just the one to deep point. it's a very emotional dressing room, and so when things go well, it calms everyone down and gives them a great sense of belief. And when things start the way that it did the other day at the Wanderers, it's almost as if, we're up against it, and can we fix it?
Yeah, one of those, we've seen this before.
Absolutely.
And if they can have situations where, like happened against Afghanistan, where many wickets fall and then they have a really good partnership, resurrect the innings and win, then instead of seeing this before, and generally when this happens we lose, they kind of feel that it's going one way, then the belief changes that, hold on, been in this situation before and can change it.
Yeah, and the more of those types of reference points you can create, the more your team can build from those experiences.
Yeah, and to speak more generally in terms of squads and teams and touring various countries, to win in different countries, important. Go to New Zealand and win for the first time, turn up in South Africa in game one, win for the first time, and right at the beginning of a tour. So as you go along to each game, then there is even more belief within the setup as you tackle each game.
And even though they didn't win the game and South Africa won convincingly at the Wanderers, a big plus for them would have been that they didn't get bundled out for 80 or 90. That they did have someone like Afif stand up in the middle in a couple of partnerships with Mamadullah, Riyadh, and then with Miraj, getting them to a total of close to 200. Just turned around the corner, Lungingidi puts a dive in, but fumbles, it gets underneath his hand, and it's all going Bangladesh's way. And it's all going against South Africa today.
Yeah, been one-way traffic really. All day, the talk's been what Bangladesh has done, because it's their men who've stood up. It's them who've been right on the money. Whatever they've thrown at South Africa have had no answer. Shot for none. 1-2-4 for none.
এই ইঞ্জিনিয়াররাই তো আমাদের সুপারহিরো। তাদের সাদা কাপড়কে প্রতিদিন দাগহীন উজ্জ্বল রাখতে এলো নতুন সুপার হোয়াইট। এর শক্তিশালী সুপার এনজাইম দূর করে ঘাম, ময়লা, গ্রিজ, সুপ বা চায়ের দাগ। সাদা কাপড়ের সুপারহিরোদের জন্য নতুন সুপার হোয়াইট।
যে কোনো ক্ষতিকর জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা পেতে ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল ডিসইনফেক্টেন্ট স্প্রে।
খেলাটা কি? দেশের 1 নম্বর গ্লুকোজ ব্র্যান্ড ল্যাক্সোজ ডি এখন গ্লুকোব্যাক্স টি।
Just 31 more for Bangladesh, who have been fantastic. They've been fabulous here today. And they've made light work of South Africa on their home patch.
Yeah, and we've spoken about the toss, and we've spoken about the debate of whether to bat first, bat second. Has it been a good pitch to bat on? Has it not been? Well, the Bangladeshis have made it look pretty comfortable. The first paddle comes out. Tamim is full of confidence at the moment. All the shots are coming out. And I just feel that with some of the strokes that even the South Africans were able to play, Anaman Malan with a few punches straight down the ground, through extra cover off the back foot, you know, if you're able to play those strokes, it's not a 150 all-out type of pitch. And this is what the Bangladeshis have shown.
Yeah, and so often it's very difficult to put your finger on and kind of identify a lack of application. You might say it kind of generally. Shot. Back for a second. You might say it generally because at the end it looks pretty much a capitulation. But as we watched today, we wondered, oh, is that the right choice? Or were you got out there? Did you get yourself out? Did the situation require that? And the side that seems to have played very well, or had their players play well with regard to out, just looking to open the face and get to a half century. Lytton Das has topped one the cover.
Yeah, he's played beautifully, has Lytton Das. He hangs his head in disappointment. But it's been an unbelievable partnership with Captain Tamim Iqbal. Lytton Das here looking to loft it over extra cover, not quite getting the elevation. Bangladesh 127 for 1. Keshav Maharaj with the breakthrough. And Lytton Das has got to go for a well-played 48 of 57.
বাংলাদেশে এই প্রথম জার্মিপ্রুফ টাইলস, যার বিশেষ উদ্ভাবিত জার্মিপ্রুফ লেয়ার ক্ষতিকর জীবাণু থেকে দেয় 99% অধিক সুরক্ষা, যা ল্যাবরেটরিতে পরীক্ষিত।
We care. We are X-Ceramics Group.
যে কোনো ক্ষতিকর জীবাণু থেকে সুরক্ষা পেতে ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজার।
Shakib Al Hassan, a stalwart of the side for so many years, walks out to the middle, and perhaps fitting that he should be out there, or certainly get the chance to be out there as Bangladesh go toward victory. Straight away, yep, straight away goes at it. He'll nudge one, get off strike, get off the mark. 21 gone. It's 128 for 1. Look at the wicket. Lytton Das dismissed. Yeah.
মহারাজ, নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল।
128 for 1. To finish my point, Bangladesh have played just about all situations perfectly. Time for a change. A smiling Atar Ali Khan alongside Brett Propt.
And here's Tabriz Shamsi. And indeed it is a smiling Atar Ali Khan, because to try and put into perspective what this will mean to Bangladeshi cricket, an away victory for the first time in South Africa.
Everyone knows that our strongest format is 50-over format. But to do what they have done this time around in South Africa, this is huge. This is some spectacular performances. I think it's the mental strength of each and every player from Bangladesh. When they came on tour, wanted to prove a point, and a strong statement already from the skipper before the start of the series to come and win the match and win the series, not to play good cricket. And it has been a collective performance. You talk about batting, you talk about bowling, and also fielding, wicket keeping. Brilliant. Seamers, the spinners, the experienced campaigners. What about the youngsters? Huge.
Turned away around the corner, they'll pick up a couple here. Yeah, I think for me, they laid down a marker in that first game because it was no backward step at all. There was a good, solid opening partnership, and then Shakib, he was so important, that attacking innings that set a tone for the way Bangladesh would play cricket. South Africa, stunned by that first game, bounced back at Wanderers. And you almost get a sense of, well, is that normal service resumed? But what Bangladesh have achieved today to come back from what was a pretty comprehensive defeat at Wanderers on Sunday, another single, and then to outplay South Africa in every facet of the game here today. It's not only the winning of the series, but the manner with which they've achieved it today.
Total domination in every department of the game. They need 22 of 169 with 9 wickets in hand. And have a look at what he has batted. How well he has batted. Not a big total to chase. Yes, a bit cautious early on, but then he started to explode with the bat. He just took on every bowler. He hit 4 boundaries of Kagiso about his over.
Yeah, and he's certainly not been curbed by the spin. It's the end of the 22nd, 5 off it. It's 133 for 1.
বডির জন্য জিম আর পেসের জন্য গ্লো এন্ড হ্যান্ডসাম।
নাটকবাজি নাকি জেনুইন, উই ডোন্ট জাজ। এক ট্যাপে খাবার পিক আপ করুন 15 মিনিটে। ফুড প্যান্ডা।
Putting in a very special performance. You don't win matches just like that.
You speak of belief, and I mean, the history would tell you that their mindset, the Bangladeshi mindset, might be negative away from home. I'll get to this point in a moment. Here's Maharaj. Surely it all revolves around Mount Maunganui. Once they beat New Zealand in New Zealand conditions in a test match there, then the realization was, if we can do that, we can probably do it anywhere in the world.
And they were missing players in that particular test match. And you're spot on, Brett.
Comfortably played. There's an air of inevitability about proceedings at the moment. South Africa with ones available for the 2 Bangladeshi left-handers. It's almost futile in the sense of their body language suggests they know it's done. It's just they'd obviously want to fight and trying to put a little bit of pressure on these 2 Bangladeshi players, but it's almost, how do you go about it? It's almost impossible when it's just 20 wanted off as many as 166 balls. So emphatic has been the victory.
Yeah, as we heard Pamya Mangwa saying that it has been a one-sided affair. It has been, to be very, very honest, especially in this match. And the way they started this series with the bang, same menu. It's just been an incredible phase for Bangladesh to take one step at a time. And when you get into a position when you know that you can dominate, then they have not taken a back step.
I remember speaking to Russell Domingo before the very first game of the series and said, you've got a lot of experience, 200 plus matches in ODI cricket. I'll get to that in a moment. It's short, it's pulled away. There's a man out there, it should just be one. But the fact that they've been to South Africa before and been on the back end of defeats, is there scar tissue there, or is that the experience? And he said, I'll have that experience every time. And so it's proved.
The experience, it brings so much to the team. And they were the underdogs. They were not sure whether they'll be able to do so well in this series. My word, incredible, 137 for 1.
পিওরিট, বাংলাদেশ সরকারের প্রতিষ্ঠান দ্বারা যাচাইকৃত একমাত্র ওয়াটার পিউরিফায়ার।
মহারাজ, নতুন রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল, এতে রয়েছে এক অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যা কুলিং ক্রিস্টাল সমৃদ্ধ। হবে রাজার মতো ঘুম। অনন্য পাওয়ার কুলিং টিউব যুক্ত রেড কিং কুলিং অয়েল।
Bangladesh. It's been a historic tour right from the word go for Bangladesh. Winning by 38 runs in the first ODI. South Africa pulling one back. Big margin, but 7 wickets. But what about the third and the final, the decider?
And what it's also going to do is create immense expectation for the possibility of a test victory as well, because it's a very real prospect given the pitches that they're going to be playing on down in Durban and Southafrica, formerly Port Elizabeth, pitches that tend to be lower and slower, perhaps more subcontinental in texture and condition than anywhere else in South Africa. Here's Shamsi.
Yeah, they played like tigers.
An apt name, isn't it?
Let's just throw that name out of the way. Underdogs.
Never again. Ristoli off the outside edge, drawn up a little bit, but sent back.
And it's such a good feeling to see what Bangladesh did in the first match, yes. But to repeat it and do it in this kind of a fashion, it's even brilliant. It's magnificent. That shows the character. As I said earlier, the mental strength to be able to achieve what they have achieved on this tour. And have a look at the fans. They've come in big numbers. The family members, look at him. He's just very, very happy. That's Shoaib Ali. He's everywhere. What a moment for them.
Yeah, it's great when you can do it away from home in front of so many fans. And they have come packed in here to Supersport Park. They've made the noise. They've been elated with this performance by Bangladesh. There's no rush. There's a calmness about the way Tamim Iqbal and Shakib Al Hassan, yeah, they've lost Litton Das, but they know that's a little blip on the graph because there's no rush. They've got so much time, so much ability to just pick up the singles when they're available, blip on the graph, edge their way, creep their way as they like towards the victory target and the series win. Inside out over cover, it wasn't too long before he got a ball that he identified. Tamim Iqbal goes on his merry way with another sweet lofted extra cover drive. It wasn't too long before he got a ball that he
Boundary number 14 from the back of the skipper,
on his merry way with
leading
another
from the front.
lofted extra cover drive.
Beautiful shot, not an easy shot to play. Up and over from the back of the skipper. Long stride in. Exactly what he was doing. Lovely. Up and over.
Nice little paddle sweep. You'll keep the bowling with that single. 5 from the over. 24 done. It's 142.
তো স্পিনে পানিকে টেস্টি বানা
আম ও কমলার স্বাদে ভরা রিফ্রেশিং টেস্টে ইস্পি পাউডার ড্রিঙ্ক। পানিকে বানাও টেস্টি পানি, ইস্পি পানি। আসলাম, ঢাললাম, পড়ে গেল। হরলিক্স 500 গ্রাম সাশ্রয়ী প্যাক, মাত্র 295 টাকা। পানিকে বানাও টেস্টি পানি, ইস্পি পানি।
ফাস্টেস্ট অ্যাবজর্পশন আর ওয়েট লক টেকনোলজি নিয়ে এলো নতুন সেনোরা কনফিডেন্স। পিরিয়ড হ্যান্ডেল করার জন্য 12 ঘন্টার নন স্টপ প্রোটেকশন। দুনিয়াটা তোমার প্লেগ্রাউন্ড, প্লে উইথ কনফিডেন্স।
ব্রুকবন্ড তাজা সতেজ গ্রানা করা লিগার আপনাকে তাজা করবে।
When Bangladesh, it's not if anymore, it's when Bangladesh see themselves home here, you could probably hear the roar all the way across the world. Bangladesh, a win in South Africa. Here's Rabada to try and put some pressure on them. Scampered single, good run.
And we spoke about the team right from the top order when they started. Tamim Iqbal and Lichin Kumar Das adding that partnership of 95, setting the tone for the series. Shakib Al Hassan, 77. The youngster Yasser Ali picking up the 50. In the second match, even Afif Hussain picking up brilliant 72. Baskin 3 for 36 in the first match. 4 wickets for Medius and Miraj. Today, he was literally unplayable, Baskin Ahmed. 5 for 35. He's just been very good in all departments of the game. It's not about 1 or 2 players. Everyone has put their hands up. If there's an opportunity, I'm going to go and do my best.
I think you're 100% spot on. There's stars that have really stood up and perhaps done a little bit more of them in a moment. But essentially, if you go down the 11, contributions right from number 1 to number 11, as you say, whether it's the spin of Mahedi, the batting of Shakib, the front two have been so important in setting up opening partnerships to lay the platform. Afif's performance resolute at 34 for 5 at Wanderers. Taskin for me though has been the standout. I mean, his bowling on this particular ground, 8 wickets here at Supersport Park. Quite brilliant.
Remember, he went through so many injuries in his career, so he had to work really hard, and he looks very, very fit. And there will be rich dividends paid when you have worked hard for something like that.
Here's the name Tuskin. You'll see 5 times as he knocked the stuffing out of the upper and middle order. And that's what set South Africa back. There he is, the hero of the hour, man of the moment. And here he
one. One. The extra bounce saw the end of Yanaman Malan. The ball here, wherever it goes in the world, because he fancies this pitch.
প্রিয় ভাইরা যারা
सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक
check drive away for 1.
So many times in the past, the team in Bangladesh
Worked away from fairly straight down towards long leg. I suppose there may, for Russell Domingo, just be a little bit of a hint of mixed feelings, given that he coached South Africa and is obviously from these parts, but he's done a wonderful job in getting Bangladesh probably more, not so much about their ability, but just to harness that ability and get that belief to the level where they now know that they can play and win just about anywhere. 6 to get.
Yeah, what this performance will also do, Brett, to Bangladesh team is that what you mentioned earlier about the 2 test matches that they will play against South Africa in South Africa. They will start to have that belief that yes, we've now won the series for the very first time in South Africa against South Africa. So it's about time to go and win test matches in South Africa.
They're not there yet, but there's just a relaxed confidence and a smile that's already come. They know it's inevitable now. They can't lose 9 wickets for 6 runs. 5 drive to get as they trot through for a single. Tamim has played so well, the skipper. It's fitting that he'll be
लिंक पे
there.
क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लाइव मैच देखने के लिए लिंक पे क्लिक करें। लिंक पहले
into the night here at Supersport Park. Now it's just a boundary away from the win, and will it be Tamim Iqbal who hits the winning runs, that wins the match, and that wins Bangladesh's first ever ODI series in South Africa?
Well, they created history on the very first game, and on the verge of creating even a bigger one here by winning, and also by winning the series.
Oh! 26 overs done. It's 151 for 1. Almost looks like a big Bangladeshi flag in the sky.
Different colours though.
No, different colours, but it's the whole canvas. There it is. Just 4 off as many as 144 balls. That'll give you a graphic illustration of how superior Bangladesh have been today. They're ready to explode on the bank here. Explode with delight, explode with elation. A Bangladeshi win is minutes away.
And who would have thought that Bangladesh would come in this frame of mind after losing that second one-day international? It's the total domination. Make no mistake. They've had some very good wins in the past. That's a great sight, isn't it? Wow, look at the sky color. Oof.
African skies. They are immeasurably beautiful. Spectacular. Oh, it's a wide. Now there's only 3 needed.
Yes, they've had some very good wins in the past in this format. 2005 against Australia in that National Trophy. 2007 against India in the World Cup. Again, beating South Africa in that World Cup in 2007 in West Indies. That's it! Bangladesh creates history. And it has come from the bat of Shakib Al Hasan. There are tears in the eye. Why not? What a moment. Absolutely brilliant. Glorious way to finish off that run chase. What a feeling. Back home, celebration will continue. But this is something unbelievable that has happened for Bangladesh. What a moment. Bangladesh winning the series. Winning by 9 wickets. The Tiger rolls with a big roll.
What a performance. It's a record victory for Bangladesh. It's a 9-wicket margin is the biggest win they've chased against South Africa. It's been emphatic. It's been outstanding. They have played far superior cricket today. I suppose that's a fairly obvious statement when you win with just under half the overs to spare. That man has been quite supreme today with his leadership. He led from the front. He's left 87 not out, Shakib 18 not out. But this is what it means to the fans and the followers of Bangladeshi cricket. It is a special occasion when you win and win away from home in conditions that are so foreign to you. Taskin outstanding with the ball, Tamim brilliant with the bat, and it is just joy unconfined. The puff of the lips there, just that exhalation just tells you what this means, and they will smile for a long, long time. Alan Donald, the new fast bowling coach, how much of an influence has he had on a man such as that? Taskin Ahmed, his 5-wicket haul today is what set it up. And the two senior men, Tamim and Shakib Al Hassan, have seen Bangladesh home to a comfortable 9-wicket victory with 23 and a half overs to spare in the most comprehensive conclusion to the series that Bangladeshi fans could ever wish to see. It has been quite a heavy drubbing for South Africa. They will do some serious soul searching after this defeat, because after bouncing back at Wanderers, one got a sense that, like South Africa have done throughout the course of the summer, lose the first game, come back after that, maybe it'll be more of the same. Not so. It's been all Bangladesh.
Yeah, most runs.